Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining our session today, dedicated to cybersecurity, cyber resilience that scales and adapting security to every business. My name is Alexander Marmalidi. I am the Senior Product Marketing Manager for various Kaspersky products. And today I will be joined by my colleague, Anton.
Hi there. Hi there. Good to see you here. I'm Anton. I'm Senior Product Manager responsible for Kaspersky Next XDR Expert and Kaspersky Next XDR Optimal.
Yes, and I think we should start without further ado. But before we analyze uh, what actually constructs cybersecurity that scales and how it should be adapted to various businesses, first, let's take a look in general at the IT security landscape, specific issues and challenges that various businesses of various size face. And I would suggest we take a look at small and mid-sized businesses. Usually, this would be the most disproportionately affected group when it comes to the budgetary impact of IT security incidents. Uh, as you can see from the slide, usually their IT budget would be around $1.6 million, with $0.2 million spent on IT security. On average, they would experience 16 incidents and they would lose 0.3 million, which exceeds the budget that they spend on IT security, which of course is a problem. Usually, it is caused by the lack of the in-house expertise that is required to effectively withstand invasive attacks due to various factors such as budget and staffing constraints, and as a consequence, also leaving them vulnerable to incidents related to employee mistakes, intentional or unintentional, and of course, public cloud misconfigurations. Um, Now, if we are talking about specific challenges that SMBs face in the current IT security landscape, of course, just like any business, they suffer from various forms of cyber attacks. And given that they are part of supply chains, the attack surface expands because they become a lucrative target for cyber criminals. Uh, of course, important challenge is mistakes by employees. As you can see from our own statistics, only 53% of companies invest in security trainings, basically leaving half of businesses exposed to social engineering attacks, phishing, and other forms of cybersecurity issues. And of course, as I mentioned, budget constraints, limited in-house expertise contribute to the challenging situation that many SMBs find themselves. Now, why do they get caught up in big attacks? As I already mentioned, supply chain incidents last year that we as a company observed showed that usually a single weak link, often in smaller or less secured organizations, would expose many other businesses downstream. And for such attacks, cybercriminals would use malicious package updates, backdoors in open source tools, and flaws at the hardware software level that could also begin at the stage of the suppliers that these businesses rely on. Now, as I already outlined, social engineering is a widely used tactic that cyber criminals lean on when trying to break into small and medium-sized businesses. And as you can see, some of the most popular approaches include artificial intelligence analysis of social media and corporate information to stage and execute highly convincing phishing attempts via emails, messengers, or phishing pages. Then, of course, cybercriminals love to get their hands on immutable data, such as biometrics, signatures, voice prints, also to use that information in their attacks. Of course, to keep actively abusing trusted platforms, uh, cybercriminals use legitimate services, and it allows them to keep their phishing attempts and activity under the radar as long as possible. And of course, two-factor authentication. Cybercriminals use complex and multi-stage social engineering attacks to get their hands on various confirmation codes to get access to accounts and then perhaps move within the organization laterally with that account. Now, before I pass the word to my colleague Anton, just to follow the same logic, what would we see if we take a look at the enterprises, no matter their size? Usually, the sheer scale and complexity of such huge organizations would make them more susceptible to costly breaches. Of course, naturally, their IT budgets would be much bigger, almost $42 million, with almost $6 million spent on IT security and 12 incidents on average. However, those incidents, very similar pattern to SMBs, would amount to losses that exceed 6.2 million, basically exceeding what they spend on IT security. Usually, in general, these companies are better equipped to detect incidents fast. They value the time required to respond, contain, and mitigate threats. They understand that this should happen fast because attacks could spread across the infrastructure within hours. And of course, they face the constant challenge of managing complex hybrid IT environments. Now, Anton, could you please tell us more about what specific challenges, threats we have observed as a company, and what do enterprises face these days?
Yeah, great. Thank Alex. So, yeah, I see that both segments are struggling with threats, the different ones, but the both segments are struggling, right? So that you outlined um, the several options. Yeah. So we see the scale of the problem, but what's driving these breaches, I think. Let me uncover these things. So organizations deal with advanced persistent threats that can hide for months. They face disruption or of business continuity when attacks succeed. Alert fatigue overwhelms security teams who see thousands of notifications daily. Interface switching between multiple tools slows down response times, and staff shortage makes it hard to maintain round-the-clock security coverage. These are especially crucial for security operations centers. And the threat is real. According to our Managed Detection and Response Analyst report for 2024, APTs were detected in 25% of companies and comprised 43% of all high-severity incidents. This is why managed services matter. They address these challenges by providing expert support, unified visibility, and continuous monitoring that most organizations struggle to maintain on their own. About financial sector. The financial sector faces especially high risks. Let's look at the numbers. In 2024, the industry saw around 270,000 cyber incidents, which is 18% of all reported incidents across all sectors. The average cost per breach reached $3.2 million US. That's 14% higher than the industry average. As you can see in the chart, finance risks second overall in reported incidents and fourth in high severity ones. This shows how critical fast detection and response are for banks and financial companies. These statistics highlight the need for robust solutions like measure protection and extended detection and response. So let's move on. And let's continue with the financials. The financial institution face 4 dominant threats. Ransomware drives 42 of 2024 incidents, often halting operations until payment is made. Infostillers follow. 1 in 14 infections results in stolen card data, directly impacting customers. Fraud stays rampant, and 44% for all phishing attempts last year targeted banking users especially. DDoS activity is rising. 30% of security leaders worry about growing disruptions to online services. Phishing is accounted for 24 of all incidents in 2024. Simple but highly effective at gaining initial access. Insider threats hit 26% over the past 2 years. Employees intentionally violating security policies create serious vulnerabilities. Here's the critical point. These widespread threats are often the entry point for advanced attacks. A successful phishing email or insider action can lead to APTs, ransomware, or long-term compromise. So, advanced persistent threat pose the most serious risk to financial institutions. Over the past 2 years, Kaspersky detected 5 major APT campaigns targeting financial organizations. For example, in 2023, we saw Lonzerda, Blind Eagle, and Dark Coracle. In 2024, Zanubis and Sidewinder emerged as major threats. To understand the scale of impact, look at a very popular Kobanock, a large-scale financial cybercrime campaign that caused total losses of $1 billion in total. This shows why APTs are so dangerous. They're sophisticated, they're patient, and focused on high-value targets. These attacks can stay hidden for months while stealing data, moving laterally through networks, and preparing for major financial theft. And beyond APTs, financial organizations face 2 particularly dangerous threat types. First, zero-day vulnerability attacks. In 2024, Kaspersky experts discovered a zero-day vulnerability in Google Chrome, the world's most popular browser, These attacks are especially dangerous because they exploit unknown flaws because patches exist. The second is the supply chain attack. The XZ backdoor is a perfect example, potentially the most dangerous supply chain attack of 2024 and one of the most significant in Linux systems history. These attacks compromise trusted software before it reaches your organization. Banking Trojans remain a persistent threat to financial institutions. Grande is a massive campaign. In 2024, it targeted 1,700 financial institutions and their users worldwide. The scale is enormous, affecting banks across multiple countries and continents. Coyote represents a different approach. It's a multi-stage banking Trojan targeting clients of over 60 financial institutions using a highly complex infection chain. This complexity makes it harder to detect and stop. What makes banking Trojans so dangerous is their focus. Unlike general malware, these are specifically designed to steal financial credentials, to bypass authentication, and steal accounts. They're patient, they're sophisticated, as I mentioned before, and constantly evolving. So what? So how should organizations respond to these threats? Here's the reality. Enterprises face complexity, while small and medium businesses struggle with limited resources, yet all are exposed to high-impact incidents. The threat landscape doesn't discriminate by company size. The solution requires two key elements. First, advanced security solutions suited for each group. Whether you're a large enterprise or a growing SMB, you need protection that matches your specific needs and resources. Yeah, so here, Alex, how do you feel? Is it true that we need to adapt the countermeasures to each segment, whether or not?
Yes, Anton, you're absolutely right. And given the differences in the budgets and challenges that each group faces, we strongly believe as a company that security should be adaptable to every business. And let's proceed with the second part of our webinar dedicated to our specific approach to solving this twofold problem. And as you can see on the slide, the embodiment of such an approach is our Kaspersky Next product line that is suitable for businesses of all sizes, and it has two offerings specifically correlating to two groups that we has just distinguished. First of all, of course, Kaspersky Next Optimum would be an ideal solution for mid-sized businesses who have lean cybersecurity teams, but nonetheless, they would like to have proper protection without added complexity straining their resources. And of course, on the other hand, we would have Kaspersky Next Expert. That would be perfect for enterprises who, of course, have adequate budgets for full-fledged cybersecurity solutions, and they would have dedicated cybersecurity teams that would work with those instruments, or perhaps they would have complete security operation centers. Before we outline specific products that are included in the offering, let's first take a look at what makes such an approach special. First of all, every solution that you are going to see within Kaspersky Next, of course, is built on our best-in-class endpoint solution. And by best-in-class, we mean a product that has been tested by independent reviewers regularly and constantly occupies top spots over the years. Then, of course, it is backed by the deep knowledge, skills, and expertise of Kaspersky. The company has been providing cybersecurity for more than 28 years, and currently it employs more than 2,500 research and development experts who pour in their expertise and knowledge into products directly with development of the technologies, and indirectly, of course, with research that covers such fields as threat landscape, advanced campaigns of malicious actors, and other fields as well. Then, of course, multi-layered defense is based on AI technologies, which you can find in every Kaspersky Next product. But specifically, if we are taking a look at expert solutions like XDR Expert, there are a lot of AI scenarios that are meant to improve metrics like mean time to detect and mean time to respond, and help alleviate and make life easier for security teams. And of course, it's cybersecurity that grows with you. What it means is, as you can see from the slide, whether it is a small and mid-sized business or an enterprise of any size, there would be a clear transformation path no matter where you are placed on this graphic. So at the bottom of the slide, you would see the entry level, so EDR Foundation. This is our outstanding endpoint protection enriched with detection and response functionality, such as root cause analysis, for example. And this would be ideal for small, mid-sized businesses and enterprises. However, Upon further stages, there will be a separation. So as you can see on the left, EDR optimum, XDR optimum, and MXDR optimum are the letters of our product line that a customer would move up as they are ready for it, as they feel like their expertise that they possess in-house is adequate for moving to the next stage. They would get additional features that Anton later in this presentation will dive deep into, specifically XDR Optimum and Managed XDR Optimum, our brand new solutions. And of course, on the right side of this slide, you would see correlating solutions, but in their full-fledged Security Operations Center ready form with EDR expert and XDR expert. And of course, these solutions could be enhanced with on-demand technologies to cover security domains that a specific customer would want to tailor the approach to their specific infrastructure requirements. Now, if we are talking specifically about Kaspersky Next Optimum, and we would like to focus our attention today specifically on this side, because as I mentioned, XDR Optimum and MXDR Optimum are our brand new solutions that are meant to empower small and medium-sized businesses with unmatched, accessible, and easy to use cyber technologies, artificial intelligence, and our own human expertise so that they can secure their infrastructure smarter and save bigger. Before I pass the word to Anton to dive deep into specific features, let's take a look at the layers of Kaspersky Next XDR Optimum. So, of course, at the center, you would see the endpoint protection. As I said, it's based on best-in-class solution, and it provides the following features to IT security teams. It is anti-malware, it is system hardening, vulnerability assessment, various endpoint controls, protection of data, and patch management. Now, moving further to the XDR layer of our solution, you would find additional detection and response technologies, such as behavioral detection, aggregation of alerts, cloud sandbox, threat evidence discovery with indicators of compromise, and of course, the mentioned root cause analysis and various range of response actions that are easy to perform. However, it does not stop there. As you can see, additional layers of protection include cloud security technologies and what is most important, specifically for small and medium-sized businesses, is of course trainings. So security awareness trainings, they are meant to elevate the awareness of cybersecurity challenges and issues among the general workforce so that they don't fall victim to social engineering and similar attacks. And of course, cybersecurity training specifically for IT teams so that they are efficient and familiar with the tools that they are purchasing from us. And of course, these trainings are included in the license. Now that I have provided an overall view, high-level view of what the solution can do, Anton, could you please show to our viewers what are the specific technologies and from the standpoint of incident investigation, what value do they bring to our customers?
Yeah, perfect, Alex. Thank you for your section. I know, buddy, I catched interesting feeling during your section. It's I felt like if you walk up to a well-stocked wardrobe, open it, and pick up the really suitable clothes suitable for just the exact weather conditions outside right now.
That's exactly right.
So you know what security teams ask most often. So okay, I have an alert. Now what? How to how do I investigate faster? How do I respond without switching 10 different tools, and so on. So next, let's switch gears to the way how we doing the extended protection. Yeah, and first we have alerts aggregation. This feature combines smaller, weaker signals into something bigger and more meaningful. By aggregating alerts and giving customers a clearer view, we deliver a vital XDR benefit, seeing the full picture instead of scattered pieces. Second, we have integrated with the Kaspersky Security Awareness Platform. This is really useful because users can configure automatic training assignments directly from the alert card. Third, there is Cloud Sandbox queries included. This increases the effectiveness of incident response and threat investigation. And finally, Active Directory integration. This enables third-party response capabilities, allowing you to block users when needed. It's a practical way, I could say, to stop threats quickly by controlling access at the domain level. And let me show you a practical example of how alerts aggregation works and why it matters. Imagine a single malware sample spreads across your network and affects 100 hosts. Without aggregation, you would get 100 separate alerts, one for each infected machine. That's overwhelming and makes it really hard to see what's actually happening. On the left side of the screen, you can see this exact situation, a long list of individual alerts, all basically reporting the same threat. An analyst would need to go through each one to understand they are all related. Now look at the right side. This is what happens with alerts aggregation turned on. Instead of 100 separate alerts, the system groups related alerts together. You can see them organized by device and user account, showing you which hosts' accounts were affected by the same threat. This approach simplifies threat investigation and makes incident response much more efficient. Instead of jumping between dozens of alerts, your analysts can see the complete picture immediately. This reduces the cognitive load and helps them focus on actually solving the problem instead of just organizing information. We have integrated Kaspersky Cloud Sandbox tightly into the platform, which allows you to perform various actions through the Kaspersky Threat Intelligence platform. Yeah, this makes investigation workflow much smoother. That's what's really important is the anti-evasion feature. Modern malware is often designed to recognize when it's running in a sandbox and hide its malicious behavior. Our sandbox includes protection to counter these evasion techniques so that you can see what the malware actually does. After analysis, you can execute extracted files from the sandbox report if you need to dig deeper. And when you're done, you can export the complete results of the analysis of documentation or for documentation or for the further investigation, for example. And when you're working in the quarantine section and see potentially malicious files, you can easily send them to our Cloud Sandbox for analysis. Just select the files you want to investigate and click Send to TIP Sandbox. On the right side, you can see what happens next. The sandbox runs the file and generates a detailed analysis report. This report shows you the file's behavior, what network connection it made, what suspicious activities it performed, and how dangerous it really is. The visual summary gives you a quick verdict with clear indicators. What's really valuable here is that the generated data can be used for future indicator of compromise scans. This means if you analyze one malicious file today, you can use what you learned to automatically detect similar threats across your entire environment tomorrow. This helps you to stay ahead of attacks and build better protection over time. Now to the security awareness. This is the important part of the product. And integration with the security awareness platform turns security incidents into the learning opportunities, I could say. When an alert is triggered, say a user clicked a phishing link or opened a suspicious file, you can immediately assign them to a KASAP training group directly from the alert card. The integration offers multiple response options. And so you also can view training status in the user details panel. For example, if someone falls for phishing, you can instantly assign them a phishing awareness course and track their progress. And in our opinion, this closes the loop between incident response and prevention, helping reduce repeat incidents through targeted education. Like that. So now to the users and accounts. An Active Directory integration enables immediate response actions directly from the alert interface. When you detect suspicious activity, you can instantly lock compromised accounts, reset passwords, or manage security group memberships. As you can see on the right, this is a straightforward. Just specify the security group's name and the system updates the user's membership. This gives you a real third-party response capabilities. Instead of only detecting threats, you can actively block compromised users and contain incidents before they spread. A practical way to stop attacks by controlling access at the domain level. And now, back to Alex. Alex, please tell us much more about the teaching, about learning, about on what to do with the threats related to the users. So it's over to you.
Of course. Thank you, Anton. And as we have outlined previously, in this webinar, SMBs, they suffer from social engineering, and we have the technologies in our products to solve this problem. Now, let's take a look at what is the value of these trainings that are included for our users, that get them access to our online learning platform to actually create that human firewall, to make sure that the workforce makes the security stronger and doesn't become the attacked weak link. First of all, of course, our trainings guarantee ease of use and learning efficiency for your employees, of course. Then time-saving program administration for companies and the ability to launch the awareness program in just a few steps. What is important to understand here is that there is a easy to use and friendly console that would allow the administrator to actually track the health organization when it comes to security awareness. And as Anton highlighted, we made sure to provide that feature with as little clicks as possible, so assigning trainings could be just as easy from the alert card. Now, what are these trainings? Of course, our platform would include a main plan and an express plan. Main plan would provide comprehensive awareness training with various topics divided by levels of complexity. And there's also an express plan in a short format, highly engaging training available in audio and video in a multiple languages. And of course, on top of this, we are offering a phishing simulator to make sure that your employees know how to deal with phishing emails and they would not fall victim to such attacks. Now, what are the practical benefits for businesses when they implement such a platform within our XDR Optimum solution? Of course, first of all, reduce and prevent human-related security incidents. And this benefit is very important because it helps the first feature that Anton outlined, the alert aggregation. Because if your employees are aware of security matters and they don't fall for social engineering, of course, there will be less alerts and the cognitive load of security analysts would be much alleviated. Then, of course, turning your employees from a vulnerability from cybersecurity standpoint into an additional layer of protection is an enhancement for sure. Then, of course, constantly teaching them and educating them what are the signs of cyber attacks and how to act, what to do if there's an incident going on within the infrastructure at the moment. And then, of course, as I mentioned, the console provides nice visualization of the entire awareness situation in the company, and it is easy to identify gaps in your employee knowledge. Then, of course, we are talking about increasing the engagement of your employees in securing important confidential information within your company and managing the security solution based on your results. So, adapting the system to what has been happening previously. Now, I think it is time to transition to our second new product, managed protection. Now, why would it be important to provide managed protection to businesses? Uh, the reasons that we outline are the following. So, of course, first of all, there will be businesses that understand the threat landscape. They would understand their limitations and dangers. They would see potential harm from financial standpoint and from reputational standpoint. However, they would often be convinced that they do not have the means to run these tools that they would like to use very much. So for this, of course, is our managed extended detection and response solution for SMBs to make sure that they get access to our technologies. However, they would get our expertise and our knowledge to make sure that they can use them properly and without straining their resources. Now, what does Kaspersky Next MXDR offer overall? So it is a comprehensive solution that will deliver advanced around-the-clock protection against even the most innovative threats. As I mentioned, this would be 24/7 continuous monitoring across various types of infrastructure. This would offer threat hunting and analysis to prevent potential system compromises. Of course, on top of this, constant communication with our experts to make sure that your IT administrators or IT security employees get the latest information about what's going on in the infrastructure and how should they act in this or that situation. And as you can see, there is a 30-minute response guarantee by Kaspersky security experts. And if we take a look at specific use cases of Kaspersky MDR, yes, this would address the most common and critical scenarios that our own clients face today that we outlined earlier, such as a lack of resources to complex protection of large environments. And we would offer turnkey security for understaffed or low expertise teams. We would offer our support, meaning co-managed security, to make sure that the alert fatigue is reduced and the resources of your internal teams are freed for more complex and time-demanding investigations. Of course, rapid incident response and containment of threats, and 24/7, as mentioned previously, continuous threat visibility and compliance readiness. Now, Anton, why wouldn't you educate our viewers more now on the specific features that make all these benefits possible with our managed protection, with our managed XDR?
Yeah, perfect. Well, another question raised here usually is, guys, why why are you unique? What is the differentiator of that product? So let's me uncover these points, and no discussions here. Just let's get down to the business. Yeah. And when customers evaluate managed solutions, three things matter most: the expertise, strong detection and response, and unified visibility. First, expert-driven service. You get direct access to Kaspersky's security experts, regular analytical reporting, SOC investigation support, and immediate notifications. Second, advanced threat detection and response. Everything runs on a single agent with built-in threat hunting, flexible response modes, and extended capabilities. Third, unified operations. We support a wide range of products and operating systems, offer REST API for ERP or SOAR integrations, include MSSP functionalities, and provide a user-friendly interface. Now let me walk you through how Kaspersky MXDR Optimum works. It starts with data collection. Agents gather telemetry and metadata from service, endpoints, and other sources across your infrastructure. On the Kaspersky side, we provide extended detection through monitoring and threat hunting. Our AI-powered security pipeline analyzes alerts automatically, and our global experts review critical cases. Most threats are stopped here automatically. On the customer side, you get detection through sandboxing and IOC scanning, alert aggregation tools, root cause analysis to understand what happened, and investigation support when it really needed. What makes this powerful is internal impactful learning. The system continuously improves based on every incident, making detection smarter every time. As a result, a complete incident response that combines automation, AI technology, and human expertise. You get the best of both worlds: automated protection for common threats and expert analysis for sophisticated attacks. So another thing what makes MXDR Optimum is really powerful and unique is the actually layers of how it works, from automatic blocking to expert investigation and so on. So we collect six types of telemetry. File system events track creation and modification. Even process events capture starts, injections, and unusual behavior. Network events monitor connections, DNS queries, downloads, and email traffic. System events include register changes, event logs, and auto-run entries. Endpoint security events show what your antivirus detects, and service events round out the picture. By correlating this rich data, we see how seemingly unrelated events connect, and that's what enables us to detect complex and multi-stage attacks. And I want to note here that this level of context means we're not just reacting to alerts, we're identifying threats in motion before they become incidents. And so now about the layers. Our protection looks like layers, from automating blocking to expert investigation. So first, millions of common threats are stopped right at the endpoints. Things like zero-day exploits, ransomware, fileless threats, and unknown malware are blocked automatically before they can spread. Then AI comes in at the cloud level. It analyzes data to detect more complex, evasive attacks that can bypass local defenses. The system continuously learns from new global detection rules, getting smarter with every threat it encounters. Finally, human analysts take over the deep threat hunting and incident management. They focus on sophisticated, targeted activity that requires expert judgment and experience to uncover. AI in our platform isn't just a buzzword, it really changes how analysts work day to day. The most immediate impact is reducing triage and response time. AI filters out up to 30% of false positives, helping analysts focus on what really matters: This efficiently enables scalable monitoring without quality loss. And analysts can handle much higher volumes while keeping SLAs tight because they're working on real threats, not false alarms. And the system also prioritizes alerts, ensuring critical incidents get attention first. Some alerts can even be resolved automatically with no human involvement needed. When you need expert response most, it's included at no extra charge. Access to Kaspersky Global emergency response team is built in for rapid breach containment. Our experts deliver rapid damage control to prevent escalation. They know exactly what to do and how to do it quickly to contain incidents and prevent further damage, financial losses, reputational harm, or something else. You can also learn from global renowned security experts who have resolved major incidents across many industries and apply their insights to strengthen your security strategies. And finally, the extended response tools to clarify uncertainties and neutralize similar incidents in the future while freeing up internal resources to focus on business growth. And yeah, that's it, I see. And thank you for your attention today. Thank you. Thank you all. We have covered how Kaspersky Next MXDR Optimum brings together expert-driven protection, AI-powered detection, and comprehensive visibility to help organizations of all sizes defend against today's sophisticated threats. So I suppose it's time for the Q&A session, right?
Absolutely. Let's take a look at
So yeah.
What questions do we have?
Give me a minute. I will read the questions aloud. So the first question would be, are the figures quoted in the European Union, US, and or in the East? Would it be so open to answer this question, Alex?
Yes, of course. So, of course, the numbers would differ depending on the chosen region, and they would differ depending on the source, because during this presentation, we have used various Kaspersky research documents, such as Kaspersky Security Bulletin, Kaspersky MDR Report, Kaspersky IT Security Economics, and information, of course, in these reports covers various regions. And within these specific regions, of course, there would be differences because, well, every country, every region is different, especially when it comes to the business environment.
Great. So the next question would be, how does AI-driven XDR contribute to proactive defense strategies? Do you, Kaspersky, have expertise here? So I will try to answer the question. So I hope I answered this question during this session, maybe partially, but once again, so it's not about only the XDR. We at Kaspersky cooking AI long before it becomes hype. Yeah, we have been using AI technologies widely in our MDR service, in our backend like KSM network, in our endpoint product, and so on. So yeah, we are massively using AI in different products and technologies, especially in XDR, in the backend part, which is our endpoint. Yes, we are using. So do you have something to add here?
Yes, of course. As I have mentioned, when I was outlining the general Kaspersky Next overview, a enterprise level product such as XDR Expert covers various artificial intelligence usage scenarios to make sure that the life of the analyst is easier. And those scenarios cover things like AI-based risk scoring of assets, then, of course, access to Kaspersky threat lookup that is given to our users. And within the threat intelligence portal, they can leverage the Gen AI summarization of open source indicators of compromise. These are just some examples. We would not dive deeper, but trust me, there are more AI scenarios, but we have some further questions to review and limited time.
Yeah, 100% agree. As we committed to deliver more AI scenarios in the near future. Yeah, stay tuned. The next question. Yeah, could you tell me, please, in which type of businesses we will need to use these security steps? It's not very clear which exactly security steps, but it's fair for all types of businesses wherever you are at any stage. But as we covered during the session, the enterprises needed more detailed, more robust solutions to work with the APTs, with really targeted attacks and sophisticated attacks.
Yes, totally agree. And as we usually highlight in our communications, the products are vertically agnostic. So, meaning that they are applicable to a variety of industries. And it is important to consider the budgets and the level of in-house expertise when choosing our Kaspersky Next specific solution.
Okay, the next question would be, did the organizations need to use zones and conduits and network segmentation to minimize threats and vulnerabilities besides the Kaspersky products? We'll try to answer. So this is the must measures, such as network segmentation, such as the hardening. This is a basic measures, the foundation for any system. Yeah, we at Kaspersky trying to help you in any case, but it's for me personally, it's no-brainer to use basic measures described, for example, in sys controls. So this is just a foundation, I think.
Yes, yeah. I think this covers it.
Okay, so the next question: how do I get training on Kaspersky Business Cloud? We have it running in our machines. I think, to be honest, I don't know how to answer now. We can reach out later.
Yes, yeah. I think we will reach out later. Of course, we have the information about the author of the question, but it is important to, if you have the opportunity to stay in touch with the account manager, for example, or to stay in touch with our support, because they would always be ready to help out with questions like this, but we'll make sure that we reach out as well to you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and the last question, as I see here, what are the minimum seats licensing for the MDR subscription right now?
Well, we'll return.
Yeah. We'll return because you see a lot of updates right now. I'm personally, I could not be up to date with the minimal tier, the limitation, but reach you out later. Okay.
We will return with that question, and this will be a great conversation starter. Yes.
Great. So I see no more questions in our chat. So the time is running out, and thank you so much for being here, for participate. That's it.
Yes, thank you. And we are wrapping up the session. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.
See ya.